Let's get into some shite. Howdy, folks. Welcome to the Altitude Podcast. I'm Rick. I'm here going to talk to you for a few minutes. How you doing out there? This is an interesting podcast because I'm doing it at night, which I normally record them during the day. But I am heading out on vacation tomorrow. So I'm getting in a podcast. This means next week's podcast is going to be a little bit later in the week. I'm sorry. Sometimes it happens. I mean, you know. If you're a listener, you know sometimes it comes out like this one later in the week. So just warning you, I'm not hungry right now. That's important to say. I'm doing this new thing. My wife started, for whatever reason, she took a class or a course on intermittent fasting, and she's trying it out. See if it's something that she likes. Now, I used to fast every Tuesday. That was my regular thing. For years, I did that when I was young, in my 20s and 30s, mostly 30s, I guess. And I haven't done it in a long time, and you could tell. But I've been thinking about kind of getting back into it because I really kind of felt good when I was doing that. And not the day that it's happening, because I'm starving to death at that point. But I don't know, after a while your body kind of adjusts to it, and then it's just kind of nice little energy. You're not weighted down with food, or your stomach's not bloated and full, whatever. And so I've been kind of thinking about it. And so she started doing this, and I thought, well, okay, I'm going to do it with you. Now, we're doing the intermittent fasting. It's a thing called 16-8, where you fast for 16 hours, and then you eat for 8 hours. You don't have to eat 8 hours straight. That would hurt. But during the 8-hour period, you can have meals or snack or whatever you want to do, really. So my wife works a little late. We chose to eat our time window, our eating window is from 1 o'clock until 9 o'clock. 8 hours we have there to eat. So I've had my meal for the day and nothing else. I am drinking a beer. Oh, man, I'm not supposed to do that. I'm not going to. Don't tell my wife I'm drinking a beer right now. I've already started. I'm just finishing it off. Okay, I'm not that far over my time. So, but I'm kind of looking forward to see what happens. And so I've decided I'm going to go back to my Tuesday fasts as well. So I'm going to do a lot of fasting. I just know the pounds are going to drop off of me. I don't know. I can't do it. Here's what. Fasting shows me how, and it's supposed to, but it shows me how unconditionally I eat, because I just walk in and just stick something in my mouth, and then I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to be fasting. Oh, what do I do now? So it highlights that, and I kind of need to not do that. So it's a discipline, right? All right. So that's what I'm doing. Like today, having my beer late. Sometimes you break the rules, but just barely. I'm not going to break too much. What else on it? Oh, I'm a purse guy now. Well, okay. Here's the thing. I started reading about the big trend are these little bags that people are wearing, little pouches on the side of their body. Now back at I don't know, was it the 70s and 80s where they call them fanny packs? There was just like a little pouch that some people wear in the front, or you can wear in the back where your actual fanny is. But I never had one of those, I don't think. But I like the bag idea. My pockets are I cram so much crap into my pockets, and I'm always just walking around with big giant pockets. And then not only that, but when I go out and I do something, I carry a lot of stuff with me. So you have like sketch pads and pens, and sometimes I'll have a recorder if I'm for ideas or something like that. What else do I carry? Cameras. So I'll have this like a big handful of stuff, and I take it out and I put it in my car, and then at the end of the day I have to go in my car and I pick it up and I take it all the way back, and then it's always falling down and breaking or cracking or getting lost, falling down in the car and getting lost. No more. So I was reading a story about how this is the big trend, and it's the big trend for guys. Dudes are doing it. It's like it's a purse for dudes. It's a dude purse. I'm a dude. Now, here's the thing. For several years, well, let's say for 1 year. For 1 year and then 2, I wore a kilt every day, right? My life in a kilt, year in a kilt days, 10, 12 years ago. And one of the things that you really kind of get used to, and well, first of all, your kilts don't have pockets, right? So you're not sticking a lot of stuff in your kilt pocket. But you have a sporran right there in the front. And you learn to start sticking. I mean, it holds more than your pockets. And I just put a lot of stuff in there. And then toward the end, I had this really cool sporran. Where did I get it? Stillwater Kilts, I think, out in Minnesota. And it had like two layers of pockets. It was a vinyl thing. Man, that thing held on more than a backpack. Loved it. But I don't, now everything's going in my pockets. And if I'm not wearing a kilt and I'm wearing pants, everything's going in the pockets again. And so it's the same idea. It's like a sporran. That's the way I'm thinking of it. It's basically a sporran, and except it goes around my chest, around my neck, around my chest, hangs down at the side. It's like a messenger bag. I'm not a woman. And it's very masculine looking. It's kind of leatherish, and it's cool. So anyway, I just started doing that, and I put all my stuff in there. It frees up my pockets, man. And I could take stuff. I could take more sketchbooks and pens and all the stuff that I like it. I like it. And then I went out in public with it, and I was wearing it. I went to a store, and I'm checking out, and then I looked, and the guy in front of me, he's got one. He's got the bag. He's got the man purse. So it was like a club. I was like, hey, I wanted to be like, hey, dude, you got a purse. But I don't think you're supposed to do that. It's one of those things. It's kind of like the kilt thing, where it's just like, you can't say a skirt, you can't say nice skirt, and you can't say nice purse, even though that's what they are. It's a skirt and a purse. But with dudes, you can't say that. So you just do it, you wear it, you try to be really masculine. You talk about sports or something like that. And then that makes you a lot more masculine, definitely. Pretty much. All right. Let me just tell you, if you're new to the podcast comes out once a week, and you can participate, and how you participate is call 678-348-0008. That's the listener line, 678-348-0008. Leave a message, and I'll put the message on the air and make you famous, or you can text that same message if you want to. And we also got emails. We're on Facebook. Just follow us. But thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening to the podcast. It's a small podcast. But it's fun. I just kind of hang out with you for a little while and talk once a week. Keep up with what you're doing. It's important to me. I hope it's important to you as well. Could be. I don't know. Like I said, I'm going on vacation tomorrow. I'm just kind of scattered today. I haven't packed yet. I'm a overpacker. When I go on a trip, I take everything. I need a truck, and I don't know. I just start putting bags, clothes, shoes, books. I take everything, computers. I take every camera I own. I don't know. I don't like being on the road, so I try to take my house with me. And I end up taking too much stuff. So my wife says this time, she's like, we got to bring some stuff back. So we need to make some room. Don't take too much stuff. So I've been trying to figure out a way to do. I can't. I've got to take all of my stuff. I have like 10 small little packs of things. Like I got an iPad pack. I have a camera pack. I have a personal medication, toiletries, and sundries pack. I've got my underwear pack, and then I've got my suitcase pack. my computer. I got too much stuff. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I could take all that stuff and then just, what if I could go vacation at a nudist colony, I don't have to take the clothes. Why can't I do that? Or just be naked where nobody wants me to be naked. No one wants me to be naked. So I'm going to Minnesota. That's a drive. We're driving it. We're 16-hour drive one way. We're going to take it easy. We're going to make a 2-day trip. We got someone hanging out here at the house, watching the house for us, and we're leaving our cats behind, but we're taking our dogs. Have you done that? Have you gone on a long trip with your dogs? We did it once. We took them to Minnesota once. Actually, they did pretty well. 16 hours in a car. Dogs were fine. I didn't do that well. So I'm a little worried about it this time. I don't know how they're gonna be. But dogs in a car 16 hours, I feel bad for them. They don't make the choice. They don't say they want to go. Leaving the cat home, two cats, we're leaving them home for a week, and that's stressing me out. Not really up for that. But we do have people watching our house. They're going to be feeding the cats, taking care of the cats. So the cats are going to be fine. Everybody's going to be fine. Minnesota, I hear, is colder than Atlanta right now, which I'm looking forward to that. And hanging out with Prince. I think he's still there. Is he still there? What? Oh. Ooh, I forgot. Okay, never mind. That won't be happening. Anyway, Minnesota, a good trip. I'm looking forward to it. And I'll talk about it when we get back. The trip. I might take some pictures with all of my cameras that I'm taking with me. That should be kind of fun, right? Yeah. I need a vacation. I don't know why. I'm not working that hard, but I think I just need to get away. I'm looking forward to just getting in the car and driving. I think that's going to be kind of cool. All right. Story. Let me ask you a question. Have you heard about the red nail theory? Sorry, I need a swig of beer. The red nail theory is a theory. All right. Let me just back up just a little background. I was reading a story by Molly Barstein. Okay. And this was in, I think, Vogue magazine. Vogue. It's a women's magazine, but it's a men's magazine if a man's wearing it, especially a man with a purse and a skirt. What the heck? Now I'm reading Vogue. Oh my God. Anyway, Molly wrote a story about, there's a thing, I didn't know about this. It's called the red nail theory. And that is that guys make passes. Is that the word? Guys make passes. I don't know. They're interested in women that they see with red nails more than any other nail color or style. Okay. And apparently, Sigmund Freud, who was a little freaky, to be honest, but Freud says that that's true, and he says it's because the red nails remind men of their moms back at a time when their moms took care of them, and they're comfortable with that. This sounds like malarkey, but anyway, the red nail theory is out there, and so Molly decided she was going to put it to the test. She went out to bars and hung out, and I don't know how long she did. The article doesn't say really how long she did it, but she wore red nails every night, and she went out, and she says this is interesting. She says nothing changed. It didn't. She got no improvement. No one asked her out. No more people asked her out. No guys showed interest more because she was wearing the red nails. So she says that it's busted. But here's the thing that's interesting. She said when she was wearing the red nails, she felt more confident. It made her feel sexier, and she felt more confident about herself. Why? I don't know, but she did. And she says in the article that confidence is what probably attracts the men. It's not the nails. It's the confidence. that feeling that you feel good about yourself, you feel confident, feel sexy. And just that is the thing that attracted men. But she found it out too late, and apparently it didn't work. She didn't get any extra dates. It's interesting. If you heard about the red nail theory, it was the first time I had heard about it. And it's been busted. Like Mythbusters, it's busted. Red nail theory, not true. I've always liked natural nails on women and men. Not a big fan of color. But it's okay. I've seen black nails, which are kind of cool. For some reason, there's a style, I guess it just seems like the people just painting their nails and then just letting it wear off. And then just kind of going with it like chipped nail look. I think that's kind of cool. I like that. I don't know why I'm talking about nails and pocketbooks and dresses and stuff. Oh, man. I need to see Sigmund Freud, I guess. One thing I want to say before, this is a short show. This is a short show. Last night, my wife and I watched this show on Netflix. I thought I would kind of talk about it for a second. It's called Unfrosted. Now, if you know Jerry Seinfeld, he directed the movie, and he's in it. And I was very impressed with the cast. There's a lot of people, even just like bit parts. And you were like, do I know that guy? I've seen that guy somewhere before. People just kind of come in and come out. And that makes it kind of fun a little bit. But there's a lot of people in it. Jim Gaffigan is in it. A lot of people that I like are in it. It is a dumb telling of the battle between Kellogg cereals and Post cereals. And what happens when Pop-Tarts are invented. So that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to give it away. But I will say this. It's dumb. It's one of the dumbest, silliest, weirdest movies that I've ever seen. And it's supposed to be. It's not by accident. And there were times when I was just like, why am I watching this? And other times I would be like, well, that was good. That was funny. So it's kind of in between. I just have to say, and I gave it a little review and a little score today of C+, rating it on the ABCDEF scale, C+. I think it's worth watching once. It's not the best thing. It's funny. You'll laugh. There's enough dumb stuff in it that you're going to moan, but you're going to laugh, and it's enjoyable. It's an enjoyable evening. I'm trying to think. There's some language in it, but there's nothing that young kids you probably don't want to watch, but older kids can watch it. It's funny, something you can do with the family, I guess. So check it out, Unfrosted, the story of Pop-Tarts. Do we need that movie? I don't know, but we got it. C+. So Jerry apparently is getting some hate here recently. He came out and made the announcement that you cannot do comedy movies anymore or comedy TV because of liberals and their PC culture. Now, this, of course, made liberals really, really, really mad. And I've seen some horrible, horrible things said about Jerry Seinfeld by people who are disagreeing with the fact that they have no sense of humor. So I don't know. I used to do stand up. I can remember doing stand up, and I just had a stupid act. A lot of hack jokes stuff, but I do remember one performance that I did, and after it was over, a young woman came up to me. I think she was a school teacher, and she chastised me for using the word imbecile in my act and said that was, I guess that was derogatory towards certain people, and I should not use that word, imbecile. And I don't know I mean, I don't know what the history of it is. I don't think it's a word that has been, a lot of people have been talking about. And, but I feel like maybe that's kind of what Jerry's talking about in a more magnified way. He probably gets a lot more, but I just think, and I don't know that you can blame it on the liberals. That's probably, I think it's just the climate. Everybody's offended by something. So no matter what you say, people are going to be mad about it. And that's, I was thinking about it today, and I was just like, I don't think it's a comedian's problem. I think it's the TV producer's problem. It's the television problem. It's the marketing people's problem, because comedians will just do whatever they want to do. But the club owners are going to kind of buckle under pressure because they got to sell stuff. They need people in there. TV, they need the audience. So they're going to say, you can't say that. You can't do that. So it puts a lot of pressure. The comedians themselves don't have as much freedom. And I think that's the problem. I don't think it's a comedian. I don't think it's a funny problem. But I also think that is a reflection of society. And if you are a comic, it's your job to be funny to whatever society. I mean, you can't make joke. If you've ever watched 1950s comedy and you go, it's not that funny. I mean, Milton Berle, he's a classic, but not that funny. But he was hysterical back then. But you could just say, but that society's changed. And I think a lot of comics, Jerry's probably one of them, that Jerry Seinfeld style of comedy where you kind of stand there and do observational jokes is sort of not as popular as it used to be. So I think he feels the heat. I think people just say, it's not that funny anymore. And there are people who are sensitive about things, so I don't know. I say don't blame it on the liberals. I just say your job is a comedian. That's like a doctor saying, I can't operate on people because they're fat now. Well, okay. That's your job as a doctor, though. Help them to not be fat. Just operate on them. Do what you're supposed to do. Do your medicine stuff. Stop judging people. All right. I think I've said enough. I have really enjoyed tonight's show. It's kind of off the wall. I'm so glad I have my beer. I'm going to say goodbye. I will see you when I get back from vacation. And we'll have a lot to talk about. And I'll show you the contents of my purse if you ask nicely.